The water that looked back. After the last haul, the fisherman stopped sleeping. Not the way people usually say it. Tossing, turning, bad dreams. I mean, he did not sleep at all. Days passed. Then weeks. His eyes stayed open, red and glassy, as if closing them risked something returning. His name was Thomas Reed, and he'd worked the Atlantic for 32 years. Trawlers, longlines, winter runs farther east than most captains would dare. He'd survived storms that tore steel like paper and once watched a man vanish between two waves without even a splash. But this was different. This was quiet. Thomas told me the ocean had changed its orientation. That's how he put it. It flipped, he said. Not the waves. The water itself. They were 3 men aboard the Caligo, a converted longliner operating 200 nautical miles east of Newfoundland, beyond shipping lanes, beyond casual rescue. The run was legal, logged, ordinary. The Atlantic that week was calm to the point of unease. No swell, no chop, just a wide, dark surface like oil. The kind of water fishermen don't trust. On the second night, the stars vanished. Not clouded over, removed. The sky became a flat, depthless black, like something had been laid over it. Compass still worked. GPS still locked. But Thomas said the horizon line felt wrong. Too straight. At 2:17, the sonar registered a return above the boat. The deckhand laughed at first. Ghosting. Reflection. Software glitch. Then the return moved. Slowly. Deliberately. Mirroring the Caligo's course. They cut speed. The return cut speed. They altered heading 10 degrees south. The return matched it perfectly. That was when the water ahead of them went still. Not calmer. Still. No ripples. No wake. The boat pushed forward, but the surface didn't break the way it should. It looked solid, like dark glass. Then it opened. Thomas struggled to describe it, and I don't think language ever really caught up. The sea didn't part downward. It folded upward. A vast oval appeared ahead of the bow, edges smooth, water curving back on itself like the inside of a lens. And inside it, the ocean again, but upside down. Waves rolled upward, suspended overhead. Foam fell not down, but away, vanishing into depth that shouldn't exist above the surface. Light moved wrong in there, dim, bluish, filtered like deep water but inverted, as if the Atlantic had been peeled back to reveal its underside. No sound came from it. Not wind. Not water. Just pressure. Thomas said his ears popped. His teeth hurt. The boat's hull began to creak, not from strain, but from orientation, like it didn't know which way gravity belonged anymore. The sonar screamed. Depth, unknown. One of the deckhands started praying. The other started laughing and couldn't stop. Something moved within the inverted water. Not a creature. A disturbance. Like a shadow passing behind frosted glass, vast enough that it took time to cross the visible field. As it moved, the inverted waves bent toward it, drawn like iron filings to a magnet. The portal, if that's what it was, responded. It widened. And the boat began to drift. Engines still running. Rudder responding. But the Caligo slid forward as if the sea beneath it had tilted. Thomas said that was the moment he understood something terrible. It wasn't opening to let us in, it was turning the ocean inside out to see us better. The radio came alive. No channel. No call sign. A voice spoke, but not through sound. Through pressure. Through the bones behind the ears. Up is permitted, it said, down is remembered. The deckhand who had been laughing stopped abruptly. He leaned over the rail and stared into the inverted water, eyes wide, unblinking. Then he said, "We're already halfway through." Thomas slammed the engines into full reverse. For a moment, just a moment, the boat resisted. Then the portal pulsed. The water around the hull turned slick and lightless. The stars above flickered like dying bulbs. Gravity wavered. Thomas felt weightless, then crushingly heavy, then neither. And then, the portal closed. Not with a splash. With a decision. The sea snapped back into place. Waves returned. Wind returned. Sound rushed in all at once, overwhelming, violent. The Caligo lurched hard to starboard. One deckhand was gone. Not overboard. Not dragged. Gone. No splash. No trace. The sonar return vanished. The ocean went back to being an ocean. As if nothing had happened. They made port in silence. The Coast Guard report listed fatigue, hallucination, loss at sea. The GPS data showed a 12-minute gap where no position was logged. Thomas hasn't slept since. He says when he closes his eyes, he feels the orientation slip. He feels up loosening. He feels pressure behind his eyes, as if something is checking whether he's ready to be turned again. He won't go near deep water now. But here's the part that keeps me awake. 3 weeks ago, an autonomous buoy in the North Atlantic transmitted corrupted data before going offline. The last readable line was this: surface inversion detected, orientation unstable, up is permitted. And beneath it, embedded in the noise, a sonar return. Above the sensor. Moving. Matching course. Thomas believes the Atlantic isn't empty. It's layered. And sometimes, when conditions are right, when something notices, the ocean doesn't open to swallow you. It turns itself over. And looks back. He hasn't slept because he knows this. If I sleep, he said, voice shaking, I might wake up on the wrong side of the water.